think that there's a difference between judging people and making a judgment? If there is, what is it? Everyone I know is scared of being judged for something. Their body, their parenting, the state of their car, the amount of time it takes them to remove their suitcase from the airplane's overhead bin. Why on earth would we universally worry about something so small and petty? Well, probably because we already spent the morning scoring other people's movements through airport security, like we were Simon Cowell appointed to judge an Olympic bobsled run. Fumbling with your zipper? 0.3 of a second deduction. Phone still in your hand? 5-ounce hand sanitizer? Have you even been to Earth before? If we're honest, a lot of us move through the world with an endless scroll of judgments running in the back of our heads. Yes, no, good, bad, yikes, obviously evil, unforgivably stupid. We can take in the scene, draw our conclusion, and have people dead to rights faster than John Wayne in an Old West shootout. Sometimes judging is fun. That's the whole premise of reality TV. Sometimes we judge because we're jerks. But to give us judgers our due, sometimes our judgments actually feel morally significant. We're distinguishing between good and bad, right and wrong, helping to maintain a moral standard. Isn't that kind of important? Especially if you're a person who believes in things like God and truth. Jesus' statement, "Do not judge," has caused a lot of confusion and misunderstanding in different directions. And some people, especially those who've been hurt by judgmental religious types, have taken Jesus to be saying, everyone should just mind their own beeswax and stay out of each other's business and out of each other's bedrooms. We have an implied agreement among our friends. I won't mention the smell of sour milk filling your apartment if you don't mention the scent of dead fish lingering in mine. This approach has the merit of feeling gracious in the moment. The trouble is, it leaves the halibut rotting beneath the couch cushions, which, when you think about it, isn't really doing your friend that much of a favor. We could all pretend not to notice the planks sticking out of each other's eyes, but that would just leave us all running ourselves into doorposts and planking each other in the face, while often remaining totally confused why everyone around us has broken noses. This is not a solution well adapted to anyone's well-being. Of course, it's equally true that no one has ever had a finger self-righteously wagged in their face without wanting to bite it. Not only are other people's judgments generally unhelpful and unpleasant, they frequently backfire and have the opposite effect of what was intended. Feeling shamed and judged makes most normal people get defensive, and it often inspires us to invent more elaborate reasons why the stinking halibut corpse is perfectly fine right where it is. What Jesus proposes is actually something quite novel. A way to help each other spot a dead fish and remove it from the house without anyone having to shrivel in shame or spend their life savings on Glade plugins. The difference between poisonous judgment of people and helpful life-giving judgments boils down to 3 things. First, helpful judgments can only come from people who've taken a good hard look at their own issues. Most of the time, judgmentalism is just a distraction from our primary responsibility of attending to ourselves. It's a whole lot easier and more gratifying to identify someone else's problem than to trace the source of the stink in our own house. Only people who are deeply acquainted with our own struggles and actively working on taking responsibility for them are humble enough, gentle enough, and clear-sighted enough to have any business digging around someone else's couch cushions. Second, helpful judgments come in the context of relationship. Your judgments, however accurate they are doing nothing useful for the stranger in the airport security line, or the guy wearing the political hat, or the lady struggling with her kid in the grocery store. If anything, they're probably just contributing to a toxic cloud of contempt that makes everything in the world worse. The ability we have to speak helpfully into someone else's life is directly related to the quality and the depth of our relationship with that person. The more mutual knowledge, trust, and commitment we share with the other person, the greater our authority. Judgment without relationship is probably just uninformed judgmentalism. Until someone gives us access to the deeper parts of their lives and stories, we don't even have enough data to make an accurate judgment, let alone enough trust to actually help by applying it. When we start poking our fingers in random people's eyes without their permission, they'll probably just fight us off. We'll both end up injured, and the splinter will still be in there. Third, helpful judgments are rooted in God's heart for people. The name Satan literally means accuser. Condemnation is his bag. God is patient and gracious and always seeking restoration. If the purpose that's driving us to speak is anything other than a real desire for the other person's well-being, we are almost certainly not in a position to be helpful. Truth is sharp and powerful. If the hands gripping that truth are being moved by any motive other than real care for the other person, that truth will almost certainly wound instead of heal. Jesus suggests that God will honor the standard of grace we choose to set in the world. Those who judge fishes, but not people, will receive in the end the same kind of mercy from God. Let's read Jesus' words in Luke 6, verses 37 to 42. Do not judge others, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn others, or it will all come back against you. Forgive others, and you will be forgiven. Give and you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over and poured into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you receive back. Then Jesus gave the following illustration. Can one blind person lead another? Won't they both fall into a ditch? Students are not greater than their teacher, but the student who is fully trained will become like the teacher. And why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying, "Friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your eye," when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite. First, get rid of the log in your own eye. Then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. I'm Meghan Larissa Good, and this has been Reading Jesus. If you'd like to join me in conversation, you can go to patreon.com/JesusCollectiveCommunity and look for the Luke 6 post where you can leave your comments and questions. Thanks so much for joining me for a few minutes in Luke, and I'll see you next time.